Okay, we're going to do March spiral number 17, but first we will go over our answers for 16. Okay. This can be anything under 10 grams. So if you said they are 1 gram each, 2 grams each, 3 grams each, or 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 grams each, then you are correct. Anything less than 10. It cannot be 10 though. Okay, and 100. So let's take a look here. Okay, now I noticed after I had written this that I had transposed those two numbers. So it really should be 4,912 plus 892. So hopefully you didn't write like I did 4,192, or you are going to get the wrong answer because we didn't copy it right. So 0, carry the 1. 9 plus 9 is 18. So 5,804. Okay, here we need to rewrite this, giving ourselves lots of space. Okay, and 2 minus 9 we cannot do, so we need to come take one away here and give ourselves 1. Now we can do 12 minus 9, that's 3. 8 minus 0 is 8. 0 minus 9 we cannot do, but we can take 1 away and give ourselves 1. Now we have 10 minus 9 is 1 and 3. So 3,183. Okay, get the shadow away there. Okay, so now for 3,000, this could be anything between 2,500 to 3,499. Either one of these numbers or any number in between there. And 5,000, 4,500, all the way up to 5,499. Any one of, you don't need to have it written like that, but if you have like 5,257, that's right, because it's in between those two numbers, okay? All right, so number 4, you drew 12 boxes and you put 8 in each box. So 12 times 8 is 96. Also, you know, on the 12s, if you get stuck, you know, on the 12s, you can always do it like this too. 12 times 8, right? And then you multiply. 2 times 8 is 16. And then 8 times 1 is 8 plus 1 is 9. So you can always do it that way as well. You multiply by the 1s first, carry anything over, and then multiply it by the 10s. Okay, there were 10 total, so that was my denominator. 3 of them were shaded, so 3 tenths are shaded, 7 tenths are unshaded. Here, again, 10 total, so 9 tenths are shaded or 1 tenth is shaded. Here we had 8 total, that was our denominator, and 2 of them were shaded. Here we had 4 total, that's our denominator, and 1 is shaded. So you can look here and you can do a couple things. First of all, you can look and say this is the same size as that. You could also look at 2/8, is that equal to 1/4, and ask yourself, can I do something to the bottom and do the same thing to the top and make it work there? Sure, 8 divided by 2 is 4 and 2 divided by 2 is 1. So that would show you that it's equivalent there. Or you could have looked in your fraction flip book and found how big 2/8 was, compared it to 1/4, and realized they're the same size. Okay, these could be anything as long as they're under 10. So if you did 1, 1, and 1, that would be 23 compared to 50. If you did 2, they're each 2. That would be 6, 26 compared to 50. Okay, all the way up to 9. 9 times 3 would be 27, plus 20 would be 47, which would still be lighter than 50. Okay, but they have to be the same number. Okay, the most popular was chocolate. Okay, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 100, 150. And the least favorite was pumpkin, and they sold 50. So the difference, okay, you could do a couple things. You could do 150 minus 50 and get 100. You could also go, okay, these were tied and these were tied. So this is the extra, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 100. Okay, all right, let's take a look at number 17. Okay, these two you're going to add, but you need to write them vertically, giving yourself lots of space. Don't make this 44,000 or 49,000. You need to make sure that your 4 is lined up with your hundreds, your 9 is lined up with your tens, and your 2 is lined up with your ones. Same with this 6,000, write it vertically, but make sure you line up your place value. Round each number to the nearest tens place. Okay, Tens is right here. So the 1 is the Boss applesauce, okay? Tens. The 3 is the Boss applesauce. Tens, that you're going to round to that 9, and the 2 is the Boss applesauce, okay? So let's do the bottom one. That's probably the hardest one, okay? So 14,992. All right. So theoretically, as long as I don't have to bump this up, all of this will stay the same. 14,900. I'm just looking at 92. I want to round 92 to the nearest the nearest 100. 10. So the 2 is the Boss applesauce. So if this is 4 or less, we're going to let it rest at 90. If this is 5 or more, we're going to add one more to 100, which is going to change that number, which is going to change that number. So luckily for us, 2 lets it rest. So it's going to stay, the 14,000 is going to stay the same, the 900 and 92, we're going to, the 2 is the Boss applesauce. It tells that 9 to stay as it is right there. Okay? And those other ones should be pretty easy for you too. Okay? All right, fill in the missing number in each of the expressions below. Last time they were all the same number. That is not the case today. There will be different numbers in there. So find the missing number. Okay, let's write these correctly. 3/8, 5/8, and 7/8. Okay, so I'm assuming we're going to put all here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this one is 8/8 is whole number 1. So you find where 3/8, 5/8, and 7/8 is. Remember, this is 0. This is not 1/8. This is 0. That's 1/8. Okay, make sure that you do that. Put an A, a B, a C above those numbers. Then Angela says that point B is at the halfway mark. Okay, you're going to have to explain whether 5/8 is the same as 1/2. Okay, you can do a couple things. This is a question mark. Is it the same? I don't know. You have to figure it out. You can use your flip book, or you can say, okay, what do I do to 8 to get to 2? It has to be multiplication or division. And then can I do the same thing up there? Okay. Order the fractions from least to greatest. Okay. Now these all have, first of all, you need to rewrite them in the proper format. Okay. You want to think of 5/5 as 1 whole, right? Of course, which is the same as 10/10, right? So that'll help you place that where it needs to go on the number line. What time was it 3 hours ago? Okay, well, first of all, the first question is what time is it now? Okay, we know that the minute hand is on the 30 here. This wings around to the number it was. So right now it's 1:30. What time was it 3 hours ago? You need to count backwards, okay? 1 hour ago, it was 12:30. An hour before that, it was 11:30. Okay, you have to count back 3 hours. So see if you can do that. All right, we have not learned perimeter yet. We're not going to until the very, very end of the school year, the actual end of May, beginning of June. But let me show it to you now. It's actually not very hard. We have learned the area, which is the inside. The perimeter is if you were to put a fence up all the way around the outside. We think, well, we want to put carpet in the middle or we want to put grass. This is if I want to fence it. That's the perimeter, okay? The perimeter is if I want to put a fence all the way around here. It doesn't matter. I'm not putting anything in the middle. So we want to add up this side plus this side plus this side plus that side, which is great. But we only know 2 of the sides. But that's okay because we remember from kindergarten that a rectangle has 2 sides that are the same and 2 sides are the same. So if this is 12, this must also be 12. If this is 3, this must also be 3. So then you're going to add up those 4 numbers and see if it equals 28. Okay. If this is 8, this must be 8. If this is 3, this must be 3. Okay. So then you would add up all 4 numbers and see if that equals 28. Okay. Same with this one and same with that one. All right. Good job.